Hi, and welcome to class. We're going to be working a little bit more in towards Pincha Mayurasana today. So the whole class is going to be centered around that. And that means really opening and strengthening the shoulders and the chest, and as well as really working on core stabilizing. Um, and as most of these types of asanas, ones that require a bit more strength, it's something that comes with time and with practice, and with practicing these moves very specifically. So, again, just keep in mind that it is a practice, and we're just working into parts of the body that maybe don't always get this type of attention. And so, yeah, let's begin. We're going to be working with two blocks today. If you don't have blocks, then maybe two things of equal size that you can put a little bit of weight on. And we're going to begin with the blocks or whatever it is that you have at home in whichever setting is most comfortable for you. So if you feel that the chest and shoulders are super tight, you can begin with the lowest setting. I generally recommend the medium setting because that just offers a little bit more space for us to go a little bit deeper. The blocks are going to be about shoulder distance apart. So let's say about this for me. So place the blocks towards the front of the mat and then come onto your knees. You can walk the knees forward for now for just a little bit. And bring the tops of the elbows towards the top of the blocks. Bring your hands together and begin to actively press the palms in towards one another. Without dumping all of your weight into your lower back, try to create a little bit of this pelvic tilt so that there's a very, very slight rounding of the lower back, just to kind of begin to start to work into the belly, into the lower belly, the activation that we're going to need in order to go upside down. And then you can slowly begin to walk your knees back and relax your triceps, your arms onto the blocks. Begin to relax your neck, relax the forehead, and for now, try to keep the hands so that they're just above the head. So don't place the hands onto your neck or onto your upper back. Try to really actively press the palms in towards one another. And then see if you can just slightly bring the head and chest down without really forcing it towards the floor with every exhalation. So inhale, readjust a little bit, press the palms in towards the center, activate the lower belly. And then exhale, begin to gently press the chest in the direction of the floor. Inhale, activate the belly, reactivate the arms, press the palms towards the center. And then exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Continue to stay here. We're going to stay here for just a little bit longer, really actively pressing the arms and elbows into the blocks to try to work into the chest a little bit deeper. Keep pressing the hands towards the center. Stay here for another inhalation. Pull the lower belly in. And then as you exhale, now begin to lower your thumbs towards the back of the neck and see if you can lower the chest even more towards the floor. Make sure that the elbows aren't splaying out towards the sides. This is a really good practice for us to start incorporating now early on in the practice, because generally in Pincha, when we start to bear weight onto our elbows and our arms, When we have a lot of tightness in the shoulders, the elbows start to spread apart from one another. So you really want to keep that engagement of pulling the arms in towards the center and then gently pushing them down. Inhale, relax the neck again. Try to relax the shoulders. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Continue to work here. If your forehead is touching the floor, you can try to work the mouth and chin down towards the floor. And alternatively, you can come up and you can put the blocks on higher setting. Make sure the blocks are stable so that when you are bearing the weight, you don't fall out of it. And just gently keep working the elbows a little bit more towards the center, and then with the exhalation, more down, pressing into the blocks. Notice if there's any tension that immediately starts to build up in your jaw and your forehead. Notice if your breath begins to quicken and shorten. Take another deep inhalation through the nose. And exhale. With the next inhalation, press the elbows into the blocks. Gently begin to raise the head, extending the arms out towards the front. Put a bit of weight into your hands. Walk your hands towards the back, and then bring your sitting bones down towards your heels. Rest your forehead on the floor. Extend the arms back behind you with the palms facing up. Relax the shoulders here. Allow the shoulders and chest to hang heavy. Relax the forehead into the floor. Take a deep inhalation through the nose. And then as you exhale, bring the hands back underneath your shoulders. And then press yourself up into a seated position. So shift the weight slightly forward, tuck your toes, and then pull your knees in towards the center so that you can really start to activate through the quadriceps. Begin to activate your mula bandha. This means pulling up this space where your perineum is up towards your belly so that you start to really activate into the muscles of the pelvic floor. Grab one of your blocks. You can also do this without a block if you'd like to. In the event that you're doing this without a block, you can interlace your thumbs and then just wing your fingers, fan your fingers out. So in any case, we're going to begin with the block or the arms overhead. Begin to really elevate the scapula and then pull the belly slightly in so that you're not arching through the spine. We're trying to work really into the shoulders and into the chest. Bring your chin parallel with the floor. Continue to extend the arms overhead. Pull the inner thighs in towards one another. Exhale without using the flexibility of your spine. Begin to just pull the shoulders back. This can be super, super tiny. Keep working the arms up and then begin to pull them slightly back. Inhale, pull the arms up, bring the arms slightly further forward, round a little bit through the spine, bring the chin in towards the chest, separate the shoulder blades here, create a protraction through the upper back. Exhale, begin to raise the arms again, straighten the head, bring the chin parallel with the floor, pull the belly in, and then begin to extend the arms back behind you without using the flexibility of your spine. Inhale. Arms are super straight. Exhale, rounding slightly through the spine, pulling the shoulders forward, bringing the chin in towards the chest. Inhale again, bringing the arms overhead, elongating the spine, pulling the arms up, scapula up, gazing forward, relax the gaze. And then as you exhale, begin to extend the arms back behind you. Belly is active without creating a curve in your spine. Just try to work from the shoulders. Keep pulling the arms back. Stay here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more like this. Inhale. Exhale. Raise the arms overhead and then slowly and with control begin to release the arms with block or without the block towards the floor. Bring the block towards the front. Bring your hands down onto the floor. Untuck the toes. And then coming into a counter pose here. So bring the weight into your tops of your feet. Relax your feet heel, relax your ankles. This is a really good counter pose, and especially because we spend so much time in shoes, we lose the elasticity, the pliability, the flexibility of our feet. And our feet, this is our foundation. And in many yoga asanas, we really want to have this connection with our feet where we can really build the strength that is going to help us elevate our hips over our shoulders so that we don't have to use the strength of a jump. So from here, bring your hands on both sides of your knees. You can create a little bit of a roundness through your spine so you can really pull the lower belly in. And then from here, without using too much of the strength of your arms, begin to work your knees up towards your chest. And this can be 1 or 2 centimeters, 1 or 2 inches off of the floor. It can be very, very tiny movement. You can really rely on your hands here if it's comfortable for you. Try not to move too far back. Try to keep the shoulders in line with the hips. If it's comfortable for you, you can bring your hands to your thighs or to your heart center. Staying here as long as you'd like to. Or maybe you bring the arms overhead, interlacing the fingers, and then really pulling the arms up. Take a deep inhalation through the nose. And exhale. Inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly with control, release. Bring the hands down towards the floor. Relaxing the knees. Move the blocks over towards the side. We're not going to need them for a little bit. Bring your hands down onto the floor. Tuck the toes once again. Take an inhalation. Arch the spine. Gaze up. And then as you exhale, round through the spine. Bring your chin in towards the chest. Inhale, gazing up, opening the heart, opening the chest. And exhale, rounding through the spine, chin to chest, pull the lower belly in. Inhale, come into a neutral spine, shift the weight towards the back, and then bring your knees off of the floor, creating a bit of a ball shape here with your a little bit of a compression. So pulling the knees in and then extend through the arms so that you can really extend and elongate the arms here. Take an inhalation. As you exhale, gaze forward, shift the weight forward, keeping the knees bent, and now float the knees off of the floor, coming into this turbo position. Inhale, drop the belly, keep the knees floating, gaze up. Exhale, round through the spine, chin to chest. Inhale as you gaze up, opening the heart. Exhale, rounding through the spine. Inhale. Exhale, press yourself towards the back. Return into that tiny little ball shape once again. This time, bring your elbows down onto the floor. So the knees are still floating up towards my chest. My glutes are down towards my heels. Gaze towards your thumbs. And then begin to extend the legs so that you're working into dolphin. Bringing your feet, walking your feet in towards your elbows. You can bend into the knees here as much as you'd like to. Keep gazing forward. Keep pressing with the elbows into the floor to open the chest, open the heart. Press with your fingertips into the floor. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, gaze forward. Once again, walk the feet towards the back, coming into a forearm plank. Pull the belly in and keep the shoulders in line with the hips. Keep gazing forward. Take a deep inhalation. And then as you exhale, twist over towards your right side. You can keep your left hand on the floor for support if you'd like to. You can start working towards extending the left arm overhead, really pressing the hips up, using the strength of your right shoulder blade, right scapula to help you elevate from the floor. Inhale. Legs are strong. Exhale. Bring the left elbow onto the floor. With control, drop your pelvis down onto the floor. Bring the knees in towards one another. You can work the elbows a little bit further forward, coming into Sphinx. Inhale, press the chest forward. Keep extending through the spine, gazing forward. And exhale. Inhale, keep pressing the elbows into the floor, pressing the heart forward. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale slowly. Bring the chin in towards your chest. Tuck the toes. Pull the belly in and then come back into your forearm plank. Stay here for a moment. Check your alignment. Make sure that the hips are in line with the shoulders and not popping up and piking. And then from here, switch over towards the left side, stacking the feet, coming into a side plank on the left. Maybe you extend your right arm overhead. Maybe you keep your right hand on the floor for balance. Try to be honest with where you're at today. Inhale. And then exhale slowly and with control, bring the right elbow back down onto the floor. Bring the knees down onto the floor, bringing the knees underneath your hips. Extend the arms out in front of you and then work your forehead, chin, or chest down towards the floor, coming into puppy pose, into Anahatasana. So we want to stay in this asana in If you need a little bit more space in your shoulders, you can walk the hands towards the edges, the corner edges of the mat. And then continue to actively press your heart and chest down towards the floor. Notice what happens with your breath. Notice if you can regain control here. Take an inhalation through the nose. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, slowly lift your head. Bring the elbows back towards the back of the mat, coming into a forearm tabletop. Tuck the toes, press with the elbows firmly into the floor. Pull the belly in, and then slowly and with control, begin to extend the legs. Staying bent in the knees if you'd like to. You can work towards straightening the legs, but making sure that you're not pressing your weight super forward. So even though you're walking your feet forward, you're working your hips over your shoulders, you still want to make sure that you have control in pushing yourself slightly further back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, staying here. This is a beautiful preparation pose for Pincha Mayurasana. It's a great way to really build strength and build awareness around the muscles that you need to activate and work on in order to build strength for the asana. Another deep inhalation in dolphin. As you exhale, bring the knees down towards the floor. Make sure the hands are shoulder distance apart. Press the press the chin towards the floor without touching the floor, and then shift the weight forward, coming into cobra. Inhale. Exhale, tucking the toes, press yourself towards the back, coming into a downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale. Gaze towards your kneecaps or towards your belly button. Press with your hands and feet equally into the floor. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale, lift the heels. Bend the knees, gaze forward with the inhalation. And then as you exhale, with control, jump forward. Inhale, gaze forward, elongate the spine. Exhale, slightly bend into the knees, bring the head towards the knees, forward fold. Inhale, bring the arms overhead, elongate the spine, gaze towards your fingertips. Exhale, relax the hands alongside your body. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands down towards the floor. Inhale as you gaze forward, elongate the spine. Exhale, walk or jump, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Gaze up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, you can incorporate your Ujjayi breath here, the oceanic sound of the breath, by constricting the back of the throat. Inhale, working the chest towards the tops of the thighs. Keep extending the hips up. Take another deep inhalation through the nose. Exhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, gaze forward. Inhale, come into this small crouching position. And as you exhale, with control, jump. Inhale, gaze forward, elongate the spine, shift the weight more into your toes. And then exhale, coming into a forward fold. Inhale, bring the arms overhead, elongate the spine, gaze at your fingertips. Exhale, hands down towards your heart. Relax the arms. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands towards the floor. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, shift the weight into your hands, walk or jump. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, gaze up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale. Pull the belly in, gaze towards your kneecaps, extend the arms, pull the scapula towards your shoulders. Inhale, pull the shoulders towards your ears. Exhale, press the chest towards the knees. Inhale. Exhale. If you have the heels on the floor, begin to really activate the quadriceps by pulling all of the ligaments of the kneecaps up. Inhale. Exhale, bend into the knees. Shift into this crouching ball, gaze forward. Inhale. Exhale, use the strength of your feet and your toes to press yourself forward. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, bringing the head towards the knees. Inhale, arms overhead, elongate the spine, gaze towards your fingertips. Exhale, hands towards your heart. Relax the arms alongside your body. Inhale, bend into the knees, touch the floor with your fingertips. Interlace your hands in Kali Mudra and slightly arch the spine by pressing the chest up, coming into chair. Gaze up. Inhale. Exhale, hands towards the floor, drop the head. Inhale, gaze forward, elongate the spine. Exhale, jump, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, gaze up. Exhale, downward facing dog. With the same exhalation, walk the right foot forward. Pivot the back heel, coming into warrior one. Inhale, gaze at your fingertips. Exhale, hands on the floor, float the right leg, shifting the weight into chaturanga. Inhale, coming into up dog with your right leg floating. Exhale, bring the right foot to the floor, walk the left foot forward, pivot the back heel. Inhale, warrior one. Gaze at your fingertips. Exhale, hands towards the floor, float the back leg. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Gaze towards your knees or towards your belly button. Keep extending the arms. Keep pressing firmly with your points of contact into the floor. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, raise the heels, bend the knees, gaze forward. With the exhalation, jump. Feet between the hands, bend into the knees. Bring the hands into Kali Mudra, and once again, come into your chair pose. Keep gazing up at your fingertips. Pull the heart up. Inhale, shift the weight into the heels. Exhale, straighten the legs. Hands through heart center. Relax the arms alongside your body. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands down by your feet. Inhale, gaze forward, elongate the spine. And now, option to jump back into chaturanga, or if you have crow in your practice, shift the weight into your forearms, into your arms rather. Stay here for a moment, touching the big toes, gaze forward, inhale, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, gaze up, and exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, press the weight with your left foot into the floor. Extend the right leg overhead, keeping the hips squared. Shift the weight forward with control. Bring the right knee to nose. Flex through the right foot. Bring the right foot in between your hands. Stay bent in the right knee. Walk the hands forward. You can use the blocks here if you'd like to. Shift all of the weight into your right foot and your hands. Left leg floats. Left leg is super active. Toes are in a flex for now. Gaze forward. Inhale without straightening the front leg. And then as you exhale, begin to bend a little bit more into the right knee and bring the left toes to float off of the floor. Keep extending the left leg back behind you. Keep pulling the spine forward. Inhale, begin to raise the left leg. Without extending the right knee, bring the hands together in front of your heart. Pull the belly in, inhale. And then now exhale, begin to straighten through the right leg, point through the left toes, bring the arms back behind you, pull the left leg up as much as possible using the strength of your back. Gaze forward, opening the heart, inhale. Exhale with control. Flex the left foot, float the left foot next to your right, bring your hands in front of your heart. So the weight is all in your right foot right now. Take a second here to reconnect with your breath. Inhale, elongate the spine. Exhale, bend into the left knee, flex through the left toes. Bend into the right knee. Bring the left ankle over top of the right thigh. Rebend into that right knee quite a lot. Extend the arms out in front of you. Interlace the hands. Press the palms forward. So you're working the belly towards the top of the thigh. Relax the neck. Raise the arms overhead. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. As you exhale, slowly and with control, without releasing the legs or arms, begin to extend the arms overhead. And then coming up, flexing through the left toes, keeping the arms as they are, begin to press the left foot forward. Pendulum swing the left leg back. Extend the arms back behind you. Transitioning through a little bit of an airplane here. Bend into the right knee, bring the left knee towards the back. Bring the left knee onto the floor rather. Bring the hands onto the floor. Extend through the right leg, coming into a half split. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, drop the belly towards the top of the thigh. Keep gazing forward. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, press into your fingertips, protract through the scapula, point the right toe, and then lift the right leg up. Super active here, creating a compression. Inhale. Exhale, bend into the right knee without touching the floor. Bring the hands onto the floor. Bring the right knee down towards the left. Inhale, arch the spine, gaze up. And exhale, round through the spine. Inhale, arching through the spine, gazing up. And exhale. Inhale, come into a neutral spine. Tuck the toes, shift the weight towards the back. And then drop the knees, the elbows down onto the floor. Separate the knees away from one another. And then begin to shift the weight forward, coming back into that dolphin. Inhale. And exhale. Keep pressing the floor away from you. Take a deep inhalation. Option to stay here or raise the right leg. Keep pressing with your left toe into the floor to raise the right leg even higher up. Press with the elbows, elongate the spine. Inhale. Exhale, switch. Bring the right foot down. Press into the elbows, bring the left leg up. Keep shifting the weight forward. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale, coming back into dolphin. Bringing the knees onto the floor. Shifting the weight slightly forward without touching the chin to the floor. Come into cobra. Inhale. Exhale, tuck the toes, coming into a downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale, shift the weight forward, knee to nose, flex the left toes, bring the left foot in between your hands. Walk the hands forward, shift the weight into your right leg. Hips are squared, left knee is bent. Keep the hands on the floor if you'd like to for now. Inhale, spine is long, gaze forward. Exhale, work the right toes down towards the floor without touching the floor. Hover. Inhale, raise the right leg again, using the strength of your glute. And then bring your hands together in front of your heart. Pull the belly in, find the stability in your left leg. Inhale. Exhale, begin to straighten through the left leg. Raise the right leg higher. Extend the arms back behind. Take a deep inhalation. Exhale, flex through the right foot. Bring the hands together in front of your heart. Hover the right foot next to the left. Stay here for a moment. Reconnect with your breath. Activate your pada bandha, pressing all of your left foot firmly into the floor. Take an inhalation. And exhale. Inhale, bend into the right knee, flex the right toes, bend a bit into the left knee so that you can hook the right ankle over top of the left thigh. Interlace the hands, press the palms out in front of you, and then bring your belly towards the top of the thigh. Keep gazing forward. Or rather, keep gazing towards the floor and extending the arms forward. Opening the right hip. Inhale. Exhale with control. Keep the arms as they are. Shift the right leg forward, arms back. And then with control, creating a small pendulum swing here. Extend the arms back behind you, right leg back behind you. Keeping the hips squared. Bend into the left knee, bring the right foot down, right knee down. Extend the right left leg. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, coming into a half splits. Keep gazing forward, belly on the top of the thigh. Spine is long. Inhale, press into the fingertips, protract through the scapula, point the left toes, and then begin to raise the left leg. Stay here. Bend into the left knee. Bring the left knee back without touching the floor to meet the right. Bring the hands onto the floor. Inhale, tabletop, gaze up, coming into cow. Exhale, coming into cat. Inhale, coming into cow, gazing up. And exhale, coming into cat. So, bring yourself down onto your sitting bones. So, with Pincha Mayurasana, like I was saying before, you want to be strengthening the muscles of the shoulders, of the chest, of the arms, but you also don't want to be preemptively jumping into something that you don't have control over. So the problem is that if we create this type of momentum of jumping always forward, we are not really understanding the concept of stacking our hips over our shoulders. So you can access that in different ways. You can work from a straight line where we were kind of doing it earlier in Dolphin, and you're just walking your feet as close as possible to you. The knees can be bent. You can start working towards the compression of the flexors, pulling the knees in towards your belly and then pressing yourself forward. You can work with the wall, and I would recommend not working with the wall in the way that you're facing it and you're jumping into it, because again, that's going to create this reliance on the wall to jump into it. So it's quite nice if you are practicing with the wall to use it as a way to help you push away from it in a much more holistic manner so that you can really work towards pressing the chest towards the wall while pressing the hips over the shoulders. So I'm going to show you, I guess more or less here. There's kind of this like awkward wall thing here, but so the distance is going to be a little bit more of like a bent elbow situation. And what you're going to do is, I'm actually going to move my mat just a little bit more, like here, so it's right next to me. So you're going to bring your shoulders, first of all, your elbows in line with your shoulders. You can check that by bringing your hands towards your elbows and then grabbing the outside of your elbows with your hands, and then from there, extending the arms. One option is to create these two parallel lines with your arms, and that also depends on the openness of your shoulders. So If this is really uncomfortable and you feel that the elbows start to slide out when you're putting weight on them, then you can also bring the hands a little bit more towards one another. You can press the hands towards each other as well. That kind of creates a bit of a rotation in your shoulders and in your arms that helps you press your chest forward a little bit more. So wherever you are, try to find that space with your arms. So from here, it's going to feel kind of unnatural to walk the feet up towards the wall. You're going to want to go really far up, but then you're going to create a banana back in your spine. So the idea is not to create any type of unnecessary arch in your spine, and it's more about bringing the hips over the shoulders. I'll show you also later a stag leg option, which is a really nice way to, a nice entry that you can do kind of as well to incorporate a back bend into it. And it's actually a lot more accessible than it would seem. So from here, you're going to press your elbows into the floor. You're going to press your hands into the floor. Your points of contact are going to be super solid. You're going to begin to walk your feet up the wall. So my feet want to go here because that's much more comfortable. But then if you look at my spine, I'm in a super banana back. So I'm going to walk my feet further down. Maybe my knees are a bit bent. And then from here, I can gaze forward and really start extending my legs and pressing my weight forward. So I am, in some way, having a little bit of a back bend, but it's not an entire back thing. It's hard to stay in that position for super long and talk. So that's a really good way to practice just getting comfortable and building the strength in your shoulders if you want to move on from dolphin pose. The next one after this, what you could do is, if you're here and you want to use the wall, you're going to do the same thing where you're going to walk your feet up the wall to create this L shape, and then you're just going to extend one leg. Keep gazing in between your arms. This is really helpful, having a focal point, having a drishti. Stay here with the one leg up. And then switch. Bring the other leg up. Press yourself a little bit more away from the wall. Keep pressing the elbows into the floor. And then come back down. Give yourself a moment to rest. You can always rest in child's pose in between the asanas. And from here, we can start working towards a stag leg position. So if you want to go into a stag leg, you would ultimately create the same sensation, you would do the same thing with your legs, but now you're going to extend one of the legs past your hips and you're going to bend into the knee, starting to work the feet a little bit more towards your head. You're going to try to look up and forward. So the more you're looking up and forward, the harder it's going to be for your body to tumble forward. You're going to be able to really create a back bend here. What's important is you continue to press your elbows really firmly into the floor. So you don't want to be sagging down and having all of the weight be just in your shoulders. You want to really be making sure that you're incorporating the entire body to get into this asana. So same thing, you walk the legs, gaze forward, and then just keep shifting the weight into your elbows, and then bend into one knee, gaze forward, maybe bring the other toes off of the floor, off of the wall rather, and find your balance. Both of the knees are bent. Keep gazing forward. And then make sure you do the other side. And I'm going to just move away from the wall because it's kind of an awkward little corner that I was in. So if you want to be working into a stag leg or a straight leg, Pincha Mayurasana, which just translates, I think, roughly to feathered peacock pose, you can practice with the wall, I think it's actually a really, really good way to start. And again, it's really better to not create the muscle memory of going towards the wall, back facing it with your back. There's different ways of teaching it, but just from personal experience, when you become reliant on the wall with some of these types of asanas, in due time, it's really difficult to back away from the wall because you almost part of inversions, part of these types of balances is having the trust in being in this pose, getting into it, and knowing how to fall out of it in the event that you do. So there's different ways to fall out of it. For some people, you can fall out of it into more of a back bend, like wheel. Some people will fall to the side. You can place blankets underneath your face. Again, it's normal to fall. It's just part of the practice. So I still fall. And it really depends too on where your mind is. So sometimes you might not be super focused, and that these asanas do take quite a lot of focus. So I'm going to just kind of walk you through the stag leg once again on without using the wall. So you're going to separate the elbows, bring the hands out in front, either arms parallel or hands towards one another, whatever is most comfortable for you. You're going to continue to gaze forward and then begin to straighten walk the legs forward rather. Begin to press really into the elbows. Press one of the feet into the floor. Raise the other leg. And then bend into the back knee, bend into the front knee. The more you bend into the front knee, the more of a slight compression you're going to create, which is really going to help you make sure that you don't fall over. You can come out and practice on the other side. It's important to practice on both sides. The more you practice on both sides, the more you're creating the coordination, the muscle memory for both sides. So one side is going to probably feel stronger, but you really want to make sure that you're doing both, and that's in any asana. Okay, so the last one is going to be working into a straight leg. So any straight leg variation of arm balances is generally going to be the most difficult because it requires like the whole body, the activation of the whole body. And over time, that activation isn't so fierce and it's not so, you don't think about it as much, but it takes a while to get to that point. So again, it's like very normal to fall out of the poses. It's very normal. It's a practice. And that's kind of what this is all about. So just try and see how you feel. And if you really feel like you don't feel confident doing the straight leg, then go for the wall. Try the stag leg. Try to do one leg lifts to build up that strength so that you can more comfortably go into this asana, into Pincha Mayurasana in due time. So again, the space of your elbows, hands extended out in front, gazing forward. Inhale. Walk the feet forward. Exhale, raise one of the legs up. And then slowly come out of the pose. I'm not really there yet where I can talk super comfortably while being upside down because I do really have to focus. And it could be years before I'm really elsewhere, but that's not really the point. The point is that you want to be going into this with a mindset of, I'm trying something, this is going to bring me joy. Sure, maybe it can be a little bit strong for my body, but it's really just part of the process and the journey of learning how to do these types of movements. So try to do them with a smile. Yeah, I made the mistake a long time ago of getting really serious about this, and it was just not fun. And so I stepped away from it, and then once I was able to grow out of that mindset, it really ended up being a lot more fun. So anyways, from here, bring your forehead down towards the floor, extend the arms back behind you, coming back into that embryo pose that we did in the beginning of class. Relax the shoulders, relax the chest. Allow yourself to really fall deeply into the floor. And then with your next inhalation, bring your hands underneath your shoulders, pressing yourself back up. And then bring your weight over towards one side. Extend the legs out in front of you. Bend the knees. Press the heels into the floor. Interlace the hands behind your legs. And then as you inhale, you can press all of the feet into the floor. As you inhale, press the chest towards the knees, gaze up. And then as you exhale, round through the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, gazing up, opening the heart, gazing towards the sky, towards the ceiling. And exhale, round through the spine, chin to chest. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, come into a straight spine. Flex your toes. Bring your peace sign fingers to your big toes. And then keeping the belly on top of the thighs, straighten the spine, and then begin to work the heels forward. Only go so far as you can before your belly separates from your thighs. So we want the belly to be flat on the thighs, the spine to be super straight. Gaze forward, inhale, and exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Make sure all 10 toes are in a straight line, all of them flexed wherever you are, working the heels forward. Inhale. If the backs of your legs are on the floor and your belly is still on top of your thighs, really press the backs of your knees into the floor so that you feel the extension of the hamstrings. You can begin to lower your head towards your knees, towards your shins. Inhale, pull the shoulders away from the ears. Feel how long the spine is. And exhale. Inhale. And as you exhale, slowly come up. Use the strength of your hands to help you come up. Re-bend into the knees. Bring the sitting bones towards your heels, and then just slowly and with control, roll yourself down into a reclined position. Bring the soles of your feet together, open the knees wide. Bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. Maybe you close your eyes. And begin to connect with your breath. Once again, notice all of the sensations in your body. You can stay here or transition into Shavasana and stay for as long as you'd like to, as long as you possibly can, noticing the sensations in your body. Thank you for practicing with me today, and I will see you next time.